We're simplifying what's called rational expressions, where if you remember this from last unit, maybe it's where you factor and then you cancel out the ones that are the same. So because I have x plus 3 on the top and the bottom, you cancel out. Yep, okay. So you can only divide out or cancel out factors that are the same on the top and the bottom. We'll rewrite it, and then we're using factoring to help us find things to simplify. So let's look. We're just going to do it. Number 1. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Okay. Number 1, you have on the top x squared minus 4x minus 12. Just a reminder that when you are factoring, I put it back here. There is a poster over there by Bryn, but it's typed out, so it's kind of hard to see. You first check and see, is there a GCF? If there is, bring it out in front. And then factoring, you check and see how many terms do I have. 2 terms, we do like difference of squares or cubes. 3 terms, x game. 4 terms, split, GCF, or group it, okay? So looking at this one, x squared minus 4x minus 12, how many terms does it have? 3, and there's no GCF, so we play x game. Multiplies to negative 12 and adds to negative 4. I'm going to zoom in more. All right. What are those 2 numbers? Yeah, negative 6, positive 2. Job. Okay, so we take those numbers and we are rewriting this expression. Again, something you've done before. So the top factors into, that's an equal sign, x minus 6, x plus 2. Why am I allowed to go right to parentheses? Yeah, a is 1, x squared. Okay, the bottom, x squared minus 4, has 2 terms. So that's where you check for squares or cubes. What is this one? Squares. It has no GCF. So remember, we can rewrite this as blank squared minus blank squared. This is difference of squares. It is x squared minus 2 squared. So that's your a and b. Remember, we're factoring difference of squares. You've done this for 5 months. It's x plus 2, x minus 2. Literally 5 months. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense to you. We've been doing it for so long, I'm not going to explain it again. Okay, now you look at this, and what can cancel? X plus 2, because it's the same on the top and bottom. So goodbye. That gets to cancel, which leaves you with a simplified expression of x minus 6 over x minus 2. Hooray. Hopefully this is something that feels a little familiar. We did it when we did division last unit. The one thing that you do have to do, hold on, you have to state the excluded values. You do not want the denominator to be, what's the one number we don't like to divide by? 0. Okay, so we don't want the denominator to be 0. What numbers would make those 0? Okay, so those are your factors. Get the zeros from them. This one would get me a 0 of negative 2. Are you with me? What would the other one get me? Positive 2. But if I plug those numbers in, 2 minus 2 is 0. Negative 2 plus 2 is 0. Do I want those numbers? No, which is why it says state the excluded values from the domain. So we actually say x cannot be, put a big slash. We do not want x to be the zeros that you have in the denominator, so negative 2 or 2, because those will get me 0 in the bottom, and that will cause a problem and make it undefined. There's a little typo on number 2. We're going to switch that to be x squared minus 2x minus 3.
Come on.
Okay, and since both of those, well, you check for a GCF. There's not one. They have 3 terms. What should you do? X game, right? Okay, so can you play the X game twice? On the top, you are doing what multiplies to negative 3, adds to negative 2. On the bottom, what multiplies to negative 6, adds to negative 1. Your two numbers that multiply -3, what do you got? -3 and 1, yep. Two numbers that multiply -6, add to -1, that is -3 and 2. Okay, so that's how those will factor. So we're gonna rewrite it. The top then factors into x minus 3, x plus 1. The bottom, or the denominator, factors as x minus 3, x plus 2. Which of these should cancel? X minus 3. You see the same thing on the top and the bottom. So it cancels out, which leaves you with this guy as your final answer, x plus 1 over x plus 2. Okay. You need to also look at the domain. So we're looking for excluded values, which means like which of these would create the bottom, would cause the bottom to be equal to 0. You have to look for your zeros. So in the denominator is what we care about because we don't want the bottom to be 0. We don't want to divide by 0. So that would give me, let's see, if I'm looking at x minus 3, what number there would give me a 0? 3, positive 3, right? So we don't want, put a big slash. Do not, x should not be equal to positive 3 or negative 2, because those are the zeros that are coming from what you see highlighted here. My zeros are positive 3 and negative 2. I don't want those to be in my domain because otherwise I would end up with division by 0, and that gets me something undefined. Number 3, it looks kind of wonky. We need to probably fix it, sorry, so that it doesn't look so weird because it, frankly, it's just formatted strangely. Okay, that's an accident. So we'll fix that. It's supposed to be 8x to the third y over 2xy squared times 7x to the fourth y to the third. Y is a base there. It looks like an exponent in the original problem, so you can scratch out the original. That's what it's supposed to look like. Sorry about that. When you multiply fractions, you literally just multiply straight across. So we'll start with the top. If I multiply straight across, I get, I'll do down here. 8 times 7 is 56. And then I have the same base, x and x. Do you remember what you do with your exponents when you multiply? Add them. So x to the 7th. And then this is a 1. X to the first times x to the third gives me y, sorry, not x, y to the 4th. Right, because add your exponents. So same thing on the bottom. Multiply straight across. 2 times 4, 8. X to the first. And then y to the, add those. 1, 2 plus 1, it gives me 3. Okay, you are not done because this is an exponential expression that you know how to simplify. And so if you have division that you can do with your coefficients, you should do that. So you can divide these guys. 56 divided by 8 is 7, or you can think of it like this. Okay, they both divide by 8, so it becomes 7 over 1, or just, yeah, 7. When I have the same base and division, do you remember what you do with those exponents? Subtract. Or cancel, so you'll see me usually cancel it out. Like I have 1 here, so I take away from 1 from the top, leaves me with 6. 3 here, take it away from the top, leaves me with 1. So 7x to the 6th, y to the first, or y. And there is nothing left in the denominator. You canceled all of it out, so that's it. Okay, when we go to ask the question about what's the domain going to be, the domain, we're still asking, okay, what numbers cause a problem? What numbers would create the denominator or make the denominator to be 0? So you have to, obviously this one doesn't have a denominator, so go back to the one that you just had, this guy. 8's not the problem. What you care about is the variables. So what number could I plug in for x that would cause it to be, this denominator to be 0? 8 times 0. Yeah. So when you have just like a term like this, it's not factored, like it's not a parentheses factor kind of thing. It's just going to be 0. So we don't want x to be 0, because if it is, then you end up with, so not 0. Because then you end up with 8 times 0, which is 0. Okay, what about y? What number would cause a problem? Same thing, right? 0. We do not want y to be 0. So y is 0, but no. So not 0 for x, not 0 for y. That way you avoid having a 0 in the denominator, okay? On this one, we are gonna multiply straight across, just like we did in the last one, which will get you like one big fraction. So we'll write that down to explain it. Because you're gonna end up just multiplying straight across, multiply, missed an L there, multiply across, and get one big fraction, because it would just put everything side by side. You'll see what I mean in a second, but first we are going to factor everything we can, because if you try to multiply it right now, it's going to be a disaster. Okay, we're not going to multiply it right now. You're going to try and factor all of the things. First, can you look at the top left corner there? 3x minus 3x squared. It's kind of problematic. It's not a problem. It's going to have GCF, but we're going to put it in standard form just so you're not confused. So you're used to seeing it in standard form like this. Right now it's backwards, right? So a reminder, when you are factoring, you are looking for, is there a GCF first? And then after you check for GCF, how many terms does it have? If it's got 3 terms, X game. If it's got 2 terms, try something else. What you're going to do for me is factor everything you can. So this is equal to the factored form. 3x does not factor, everything else does. So can you take a few moments and try and factor that? You can start with the one on the top left. How can that negative 3x squared minus 3x factor? Put all your new parentheses in the spots, so same spot but factored, and then we'll talk about how to simplify it, okay? If you don't know where to start, then start with maybe like the top right and do x game. Negative 3x squared minus 3x. Does it have a GCF? It does. Okay, what's the GCF of that? 3x. We're going to do negative 3x because that first term is negative. Negative 3x, and if I divide out negative 3x from that, it would get me x minus 1. Okay, then the other two, you're just playing x game. So negative 20 adds to positive 1. Do you have positive 5, negative 4? The a value there is 1, so you get to go right to parentheses. That's nice. X plus 5, x minus 4. Okay, you're almost done. What's the last one? Oh, adds to positive 4. Fun. So positive 5, negative 1. Again, because your a value is 1, you get to go right to parentheses, x plus 5, x minus 1. All right. Here's the nice part about multiplication. If you were to multiply this, all that's going to happen is you're going to take these parentheses and like just put them in a big fraction. Like literally like they would just come together in one fraction anyways and just get pushed side by side. So what you're going to do is just cancel out right now, okay? We're looking for things that are alike. So what's something we can cancel? X plus 5, x minus 1, What else? 3x, yes. It does still leave you with a negative, so watch for that. The negative is still there, which means that my final answer is this. Negative x minus 4. And that is all that's left. Beautiful. Got a lot better. Okay, when you were looking at the domain, remember you're looking at the denominator, so in the bottom. We look at these 3 in the denominator, because those will be the ones that would cause it to be 0. So take the zeros from those and say, we don't want it to be that. So the domain, we want to exclude, meaning we don't want x to be which 3 numbers? X plus 5 would get us negative 5. A 0, negative 5. X minus 1 would get us a 0 of positive 1. And then this one, 0. If you say 3x is equal to 0, then divide by 3, you get 0. Or think about if I plug in a 0 in that spot, 3 times 0 is 0. So if it's just like a variable alone like this, it's not like plus or minus, it's 0. Okay?